How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. Throughout the course of every NBA draft class, there'll always be a second rounder each year who will turn out to become better than expected. Some of them will become all-stars. One's a franchise player playing in the Western Conference right now, currently leading his team to good playoff positioning, arguably a top 15 player in the NBA. But I'll get to him towards the very end of this video. But without further ado, here are the greatest second round picks each year since 2000. The 2000 NBA draft class might go red. Who was the 43rd overall pick out of Ohio State, was only one of 3 All-Stars in his draft class alongside Kenny Martin and Jamal McLaur, went on to have a 12-year career, making All-NBA third team in 2004, led the Bucks in scoring for 6 straight seasons from 03-04 to 08-09, putting up more than 21 points a game each of those seasons, had as smooth a jumper as anybody in the league, but suffered multiple injuries throughout his career, only lasted 629 regular season games. 2001 Gilbert Arenas, who was drafted 31st overall by the Golden State Warriors, was the most talented player in that draft, one of the most forgotten stars in the mid-2000s. Agent Zero was as good a scorer as any point guard in the league, averaged over 28 a game the 2 seasons before his ACL injury, could have been a Hall of Fame player if he stayed healthy. 2002 Carlos Boozer, selected 35th overall by the Cleveland Cavaliers out of Duke, spent his first 2 seasons with the Cavs before signing with the Jazz as a free agent, made 2 All-Star teams in 2007 and 2008, averaged over 16 points, 9.5 boards for his career. 2003 Kyle Kover, selected 51st overall out of Creighton. No one would have ever thought Kover would end up top 5 on the all-time 3-point list. Has played over 100 more regular season games than Carmelo Anthony and will have a longer career. Even now, he's performing at a high level, averaging close to 9 points a game, as deadly as anybody from long range, shoots 43% for his career behind the arc, even made the All-Star team in 2015, has another year left in his contract, just excellent playing his role as a spot-up shooter. 2004 Trevor Ariza, drafted 43rd overall by the New York Knicks out of UCLA, Ariza is one of the most underrated role players in the NBA. At 33 years old, he still got plenty of basketball left, played for 7 different teams, won a championship with the LA Lakers in 2009, was an excellent piece for the Houston Rockets, who was very underappreciated, before signing with the Suns this past offseason and now with the Wizards. 2005 Lou Williams, who will end up the best 6th man the game has ever seen. Sweet Lou is instant offense coming off the bench, simply gets buckets and has unlimited range. As a very deadly shooter, has been playing the best he's ever played over the last 2 seasons, putting up over 20 points a game, leading his Clippers in scoring. When he's hot, he looks like a superstar, who will end up as one of the best players to never make the All-Star team. He was a nobody in his first 2 seasons with Philly, but seems to get better with age, looking to win his 3rd 6th Man of the Year award after this season. Monte Ellis was selected 40th overall in 2005, is a more talented player in his prime, but Lou Will overall has the better career. 2006 Paul Millsap, selected 47th overall out of Louisiana Tech, the 6'8" power forward was overlooked. Despite leading Division I in rebounding for 3 straight seasons, turned out to become a 4-time All-Star, all with the Atlanta Hawks from 2014 to 2017 as a 17-8 guy. Is a very good 2-way player who can defend multiple positions, handle the ball and pass, averages over 14 points, 7 rebounds for his career, on the verge of completing his 13th season. 2007 Marc Gasol, one of the best second rounders the game has ever seen and a very underrated player throughout his career. Gasol was the face of that grit and grind Memphis team throughout the early to mid 2010s decade. Drafted 48th overall, Gasol looked heavy and out of shape during his younger days, was asleep during the NBA draft, woke up and had no idea he was selected 48th, turned himself into a 3-time All-Star, won Defensive Player of the Year in 2013, even made All-NBA first team in 2015. Now at 34 years old, he's got a chance to make his first ever finals, now playing with the Toronto Raptors. 2008, I had an extremely tough time deciding this one, but I'll go with DeAndre Jordan, slightly over Goran Dragic. Jordan was selected 35th overall out of Texas A&M, didn't become relevant until CP3's arrival to the Clippers, proved himself as a very impactful player on both ends of the floor, averages close to 11 rebounds for his career, appeared on All Defensive First Team twice, even made All-NBA First Team selection in 2016. Now playing for the stinky Knicks, Jordan will likely get signed by a playoff contender next season. It will make his presence felt again. Dragic, on the other hand, is a way better offensive player, but doesn't have the awards Jordan has. 2009, I'll go with Danny Green over Patrick Beverley. The 6'6" shooting guard's an excellent 3-and-D guy, was a critical part of the 2014 Spurs team who won the championship, is a solid rotation player for Toronto, was in the starting lineup every game he's played since the 2013 season. Green is money from outside, connecting on over 44% of his threes this season, while Beverley played overseas a couple years after being drafted. Didn't make a full-time roster until the 2012-13 season, that's why he plays with a chip on his shoulder. 2010, Hassan Whiteside, selected Dirty Dirt overall by the Sacramento Kings. He played a total of 19 combined games his first 2 seasons, played overseas in Lebanon and China before earning a spot with the Miami Heat in the 2014-15 season, made his presence felt as a solid rim protector and rebounder, snatching over 10 boards a game over the last 5 seasons, earned himself a 4-year $98 million contract in summer 2016, but hasn't been as good over the last 2 seasons. 2011, Isaiah Thomas, selected as the very last pick by the Sacramento Kings, was constantly doubted for much of his career. Thomas played with a lot of heart at 5'9", very capable of creating offense for himself, became a 2-time All-Star, even finished 5th in MVP voting in 2017, averaged an astonishing 28.9 points, has fallen off ever since, battered by injuries, and will likely never get a max contract. He's already 30 years old. 2012, Draymond Green, picked 35th overall out of Michigan State. Nobody would have thought Draymond would become a multiple-time All-Star, winning Defensive Player of the Year in 2017, can do a little bit of everything from switching 1 through 5, guarding multiple positions to playmaking. His attitude, craziness, energy, and emotions makes him one of the most hated players in the league. Has averaged over 7 boards and 7 dimes each of his last 3 seasons. Seems to have regressed it offensively, especially with his lack of outside jumper. Will be a free agent in summer 2020. 2013, as of now, I go with Crabbe, who was picked 31st by the Cavs. This was one of the weakest draft classes in recent times. Isaiah Cannon and James Ennis were the other 2 relevant second rounders from this class. 2014, Nikola Jokic, selected 41st overall. He's arguably a top 15 player in the league right now. At 24 years old, his passing's a beauty to watch. As the franchise player for the Nuggets, putting up over 20 and 10, almost 8 dimes, wasn't viewed as a good athlete. Many thought he would struggle on defense, but he's exceeded expectations. Would have been a top 2 pick if everyone knew how good he was going to be. 2015, Montrezl Harrell, who should be a candidate for most improved player, selected 32nd overall out of Louisville, spent his first 2 seasons with Houston, was involved in that Chris Paul trade, and the Clippers got a steal out of him. Plays with a lot of heart and passion. Harrell works hard inside, has been embarrassing opposing defenders all season. Very active down low, averaging 16.5 points in 26 minutes of action off the bench. He's an instant contributor every time he steps on the court. A high energy guy who can become a future All-Star. Josh Richardson was also a second rounder, selected at 40th overall. It's right up there with Harrell, but I'm going with the 6'8" power forward because every time I watch him play, he just gets better. 2016, former Rookie of the Year winner Malcolm Brogdon, out of the University of Virginia, already 26 years old, is a big part of the Bucks rotation, who will be out likely till the second round of the playoffs. Averages over 15.5 points, shooting nearly 93% from the line, impacts the game in many ways, having all the intangibles as a knockdown shooter, a good ball handler, playmaker, and an excellent defender, the perfect role player for Giannis. 2017 is still too early to tell, but I'll go with Monte Morris, who was selected 51st overall out of Iowa State, an excellent backup for the Nuggets, also a huge reason why Isaiah Thomas won't be in the team's rotation going forward. Averages over 10 points a game in 24 minutes of action. The other second rounder, drafted 45th overall, Dylan Brooks out of the University of Oregon, has played only 18 games this season after having surgery with a ruptured ligament on his right toe. Averaged 11 points last season as a rookie. 2018, Mitchell Robinson, who's shown plenty of promise and potential, was the 36th overall pick, averages 2.5 blocks in 19 minutes of action, will only get better as a big man. Although Rondias Kuru, selected 40th overall by the Brooklyn Nets from Latvia, is also another second rounder to watch out for. Thank you so much for watching this video. I talk NBA comparisons, amazing storylines, NBA history, and anything basketball that will interest you. If you love the NBA, subscribe for more content, more great stuff coming soon. I love all of you. Have a good weekend. See you next time.